Imagine you are standing on a beach. You reach down, scoop up a single grain of sand, and hold it up to the light. That grain represents the entire history of human civilization. Every empire, every war, every love story, and every breakthrough. Now, imagine the beach stretches for thousands of miles in every direction. That is the size of the observable universe. Image: a close-up of a human hand holding a single grain of sand against a bright, hazy beach background. We occupy a tiny, blue speck in a corner of the Milky Way. We assume we are significant, yet we have found no one else. No radio signals. No alien megastructures. No evidence of life beyond our own. The math says they should be there, but the sky tells us they aren't. Image: a beautiful, high-definition shot of Earth as a tiny pale blue dot floating in the vast darkness of space. Why? Image: an abstract representation of the cosmos with swirling nebulae and distant, glowing star clusters. This is the central mystery of our existence. Today, we aren't just talking about stars and planets. We are exploring the silence, the profound, uncomfortable quiet that defines our place in the cosmos. Image: a long exposure shot of the Milky Way galaxy stretching across a dark, starry night sky. When we look up at the night sky, we are effectively looking back in time. Light from the closest stars takes years to reach our eyes. From the most distant galaxies, that light has been traveling for billions of years. Image: a time-lapse video of a telescope observatory dome opening to the night sky. The universe is over 13.8 billion years old. It is vast, ancient, and composed of the same elements that build you and me. Carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, the building blocks of biology, are everywhere. Image: a CGI animation of a chemical molecular structure floating in space, transitioning into a DNA double helix. There are an estimated 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Each one contains hundreds of billions of stars. If only a fraction of those stars have planets, and a fraction of those planets are in the habitable zone, the number of potential homes for life is staggering. Image: an expansive view of a massive spiral galaxy, rotating slowly in the void. Statistically, life should be common. It should be a cosmic inevitability. So, where is everyone? This question isn't just a curiosity. It is a paradox that has haunted scientists for decades. Image: a vintage photo of physicist Enrico Fermi looking contemplative near a chalkboard filled with equations. In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi sat at lunch with his colleagues and asked a simple, cutting question: where is everybody? Image: a cinematic shot of a futuristic radio telescope array silhouetted against a setting sun. He realized that if life were common, and if any civilization managed to achieve interstellar travel, they would have colonized the galaxy long before now. Even at sublight speeds, the Milky Way is small enough to conquer in just a few million years. Image: a digital illustration showing a series of colonization waves expanding outward from a central star system. A few million years sounds like a long time, but on a cosmic scale, it's a blink of an eye. The galaxy is billions of years old. By all accounts, the galaxy should be buzzing with activity. Image: a conceptual artist's rendering of an alien Dyson sphere surrounding a distant star. But we see nothing. This leads us to the great silence. There are 3 main ways to look at this. The first is that we are unique. Perhaps the transition from non-living matter to biology is a miracle that happens once in an eternity. Image: a microscopic view of a single cell dividing, representing the spark of life. The second possibility is that intelligent life arises often, but it destroys itself before it can ever leave its home. Image: a metaphorical image of a clock ticking toward midnight with a planetary explosion in the background. War, climate collapse, or technological suicide. These are the traps that await a young species. If this is the case, we are currently walking through a minefield. Image: a desolate, rocky planet's surface with a single, lonely withered plant growing through a crack. The third possibility is the most haunting. We aren't seeing them because they don't want to be seen. They are watching us, waiting for us to evolve, or perhaps they have moved beyond physical existence entirely. Image: a mysterious, glowing silhouette of a humanoid figure standing on the edge of a cosmic horizon. Let's look at the Drake equation. It's a probabilistic tool used to estimate the number of active, communicative extraterrestrial civilizations in our galaxy. Image: a chalkboard covered in complex mathematical formulas and variables related to the Drake equation. The formula breaks down the rate of star formation, the fraction of stars with planets, the number of planets that could support life, and the longevity of those civilizations. Image, a close-up of a scientist's hand pointing to a variable on a blackboard. When we plug in the numbers, we get a huge range of results. Some variables suggest we are alone. Others suggest there should be millions of neighbors. Image, a graphic showing a sliding scale moving from alone to crowded in the context of the galaxy. But here is where the midpoint twist hits. What if the universe isn't empty, but hostile? What if intelligence is a survival disadvantage? Image, a dark, unsettling abstract image of a predator's shadow looming over a small, flickering light. Evolutionary biology on Earth suggests that intelligence is just one strategy for survival. It isn't the end goal. If intelligence leads to self-destruction, then the great filter, the barrier that prevents life from becoming interstellar, is something that lies ahead of us, not behind us. Image, a timeline graphic depicting human history ending in a sudden, sharp decline. This is the dark forest theory. Imagine the galaxy is a dark forest filled with hunters. Any civilization that reveals its location by broadcasting signals risks being hunted down by a more advanced, and perhaps more paranoid, neighbor. Image, a dense, dark, misty forest floor with faint, glowing eyes watching from the shadows. In this scenario, silence isn't a sign of emptiness. It's a sign of caution. Everyone is hiding. Everyone is quiet. Because the first one to pull the trigger wins the game. Image, a silent, cold, metallic space station drifting through the dark. If we are currently broadcasting our presence via radio waves and television signals, we might be the loudest, most naive toddlers in the woods. Image, an array of radio waves emanating from a small, glowing Earth into the deep, dark void. This theory turns the Fermi Paradox on its head. We aren't alone. We are just the only ones stupid enough to keep the lights on. Image, a high-tech satellite dish spinning slowly in the moonlight. So, what does this mean for our future? We have only been technologically advanced for a century. We are effectively an infant species. Image, a close-up of a human infant's hand holding onto an adult's finger against a background of star charts. We are currently building the technology to reach Mars, to mine asteroids, and to probe the atmosphere of distant exoplanets. Image, a realistic 3D render of a futuristic spaceship launching from a lunar base. But as we expand, we face the reality of our own fragility. If we are to survive, we must master the art of sustainability before we attempt to master the stars. Image, a lush, green Earth scene from space, transitioning into a barren, dusty red Mars landscape. Maybe the great filter is social, not technological. Perhaps the challenge isn't building a faster engine, but keeping a civilization unified for long enough to use it. Image, a montage of human cooperation, doctors, engineers, and scientists working together in a lab. Look at our own history. We've come from stone tools to quantum computers in just a few thousand years. The acceleration is exponential. Image, a time-lapse showing the rapid growth of city lights across the globe at night. If we continue at this pace, our presence in the solar system will be undeniable to anyone watching. Image, a wide shot of the sun, with a tiny, artificial-looking construction orbiting it. We are the only creatures we know of who have reached this level of self-awareness. We are the universe experiencing itself. Image, a human eye opening wide, with a reflection of the galaxy in the pupil. And that, in itself, is a profound responsibility. We are the stewards of consciousness. Image, a vast, empty crater on the moon with a single human footprint visible in the dust. Whether we are a lonely accident in a vast, cold expanse, or a cautious member of a silent, watchful community, our role is to keep looking. Image, a telescope mirror reflecting the deep, colorful light of a distant nebula. Because if we stop looking, the silence becomes permanent. And if there is one thing the universe has taught us, it is that nature abhors a vacuum. Image, a brilliant, blinding burst of a supernova illuminating a dark quadrant of space. Maybe one day, our signal will be the one that breaks the silence. Image, a single, clear radio pulse flashing against a black screen. But until then, we have the stars to study, the physics to decipher, and each other to keep the fire of curiosity burning. Image, a group of people sitting around a telescope in a dark field, looking up together. We are part of something much larger than our own story. We are a part of a cosmic narrative that has been unfolding for nearly 14 billion years. Image, a panoramic view of the night sky, with a meteor streaking across the horizon. The question isn't whether we will find someone else out there. The question is whether we will survive long enough to have that conversation. Image, a slow zoom out from the Earth, through the galaxy, and into the dark, infinite void. Keep looking up. Keep asking the hard questions. Because the silence is only heavy if we stop trying to fill it. Image, a fade to black screen with a single, distant star blinking slowly. The journey has only just begun. Image, a final, inspiring shot of a sunrise over the curved horizon of the Earth. We are the explorers. We are the ones who dare to peer into the dark, even when the dark refuses to answer back. Image, a silhouette of a person standing on a cliff, looking out toward a starry sky. Stay curious, and always keep questioning the void. Image, the screen displays a subscribe button overlay with a gentle, pulsing animation.